Let's make it do what it do, baby. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing. We are glad in it. Happy Thursday. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. Today is Thursday, August the 17th, 2023, and we are live right here out of the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta, and I'm super excited today because we are going to be digging deep into some things that are going to help you as an entrepreneur take your business to the next level. So if you're coming on, joining me live on this beautiful Thursday, August the 17th, I need you to do me a quick favor. I need you to hit the like button. I need you to hit the share button. And I need you to tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad. We are all live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And you, my friend, are watching the Ramonepreston Show. If for some strange reason you have been like totally out of the pocket of what we've been talking about all week, I want to refresh your memory about something very quickly, because the state of entrepreneurship is as good as it's ever been. And this is an opportunity for you as an entrepreneur to really leverage your desire for success and see it happen in real time. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm sharing so much information regarding entrepreneurship, business ownership, because I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like a thoroughbred entrepreneur. I've got entrepreneurship running through my veins, and I love everything about entrepreneurship. I love everything about taking entrepreneurship and growing it into business ownership. And I love to share all the concepts and principles that I use every day, and the same concepts and principles that I teach my students and my clients through Ramonepreston University. So if you're watching live, be sure to put in the comments what city you're watching your boy from, who you representing today. Let me know what city you're watching me from. I appreciate all of you for continuing to follow us on social media. For those of you that continue to engage our social media channels, all y'all that continue to comment and share information and feedback with us on how the show is helping you. Thank you so very much. My team and I, we appreciate your participation, your questions, your comments, all the info that you share with us on how this channel and how this show is helping you as an entrepreneur and how it's helping you in your business. We really appreciate it. And if you are a student in Ramonepreston University, if you're a mentee in one of our programs, I would love for you to let the world know who you are in the comments. All you have to do is just type in the comments mentee, type in the comments student. We really appreciate you. We see Detroit, Michigan is in his house. Good afternoon to you in Detroit. I think it's afternoon there. It may be morning. I don't know. We're Eastern Standard Time. But whatever time it is, I want to say thank you for joining the show. Tampa Bay is in his house. Appreciate you, Tampa, for being here. Thank you for joining the Ramonepreston Show. So for the past couple of shows, I've been really talking about things regarding the state of entrepreneurship. So if you're an entrepreneur, it's important for you to know a few things. Number one, as an entrepreneur, you are in the marketplace. You're not necessarily in the workforce, if that makes sense. Okay? So now, it doesn't mean you don't work a job. You might be an entrepreneur that has a business and a job. Either way, as an entrepreneur, you are in the marketplace. All right? Employees may be in the workforce, but the entrepreneur is in the marketplace creating a workforce for the employee, if that makes sense. So when you think about the state of entrepreneurship, There are a lot of things that you need to take into consideration: the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's talk about the ugly side of entrepreneurship. Well, the ugly side of entrepreneurship is this: most entrepreneurs fail. It's just simple as that. And the few that don't fail, meaning that the few entrepreneurs that start businesses and keep them open, only a few of them actually make money. So very few entrepreneurs start businesses, make profits in those businesses, and go on to succeed. Very few entrepreneurs are able to pull that off. Now, there are some reasons why they pull it off, and there's reasons why the majority of entrepreneurs don't pull it off. That's the bad side. Another part of the bad side of entrepreneurship, or the state of entrepreneurship today, is that we've got AI, we've got technology, we've got accelerated advancements, we've got outsourcing, we've got a lot of supply and demand issues that are causing a lot of friction, right? And issues in the marketplace for entrepreneurs. The good side is, if you are innovative, if you're creative, if you've got the resilience to push through all of the technological advances and all of the challenges, you're gonna find a sweet spot in this marketplace, and you're gonna scale your business, and you're gonna see success. So today, I wanna talk about what entrepreneurs need to succeed. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, you might have a couple businesses, even if you work a job, even if you got a side hustle or whatever the things are that you're doing, if you're participating in the marketplace, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, if you're trying to come up, if you're trying to get that bag and secure some finances for you and some stability for your family as an entrepreneur, then today I want to share with you some things that you need to succeed. Because I don't want you to be average and normal as an entrepreneur. I don't want you to be basic and regular as an entrepreneur. That ain't safe, because we don't play safe over here. As a matter of fact, we are dangerously pursuing success as entrepreneurs, because we have a lot of people that we need to help, a lot of communities we need to serve, a lot of groups that we want to be a blessing to. We want to make an impact in this world, and we're using entrepreneurship, business ownership, to do it. So today, I want to talk about what entrepreneurs need to succeed. What do you need as an entrepreneur to succeed? I'm going to give you 3 things, okay? And I'll break them down, and then at the end of today's show, I want to extend the offer to you. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to figure out how can you get some momentum in your business, how can you leverage the ideas that you have so that you can start seeing some revenue and some opportunities, I'm gonna open up an offer to you at the end of today's show. It's gonna be an amazing offer that you really can't refuse and shouldn't refuse. And I'll give that to you at the end of today's show. So I'm gonna share with you 3 things that I believe you need as an entrepreneur to succeed. But before I give you these 3 things, I wanna give you a statistic. I mentioned it yesterday. I wanna mention it today. Here's a statistic. 90% of millionaires are entrepreneurs. Did you know that? Did you know 9 out of 10 millionaires today in the United States of America alone are entrepreneurs? So there are about 22 million millionaires in the United States of America. 90% of these millionaires are entrepreneurs. Now, the fact that they're millionaires further proves that, okay, they're self-made, they're first generation, meaning that they didn't inherit this. They worked hard, they took ideas, they converted those ideas into products, services, packaged them into businesses, and they became millionaires. So 90% of today's millionaires in the United States alone are entrepreneurs. I told y'all the other day on the show that studies show in the next 3 years, the number of millionaires are going to double. Well, if 90% of millionaires today are entrepreneurs and the number of millionaires are going to double in the next 3 years, what does that say for entrepreneurs? Well, it says that there are going to be more entrepreneurs who figure out creative ways to take their ideas, package those ideas, present those ideas, and sell them in the marketplace. I want you to be one of those entrepreneurs. I want you to be one of those millionaires that are going to be created in the next 3 years, mostly from the fact that they're entrepreneurs. So it's not like you can't become an entrepreneur if you're an employee or making a salary. It just means that when you are an entrepreneur, of course, the dark side, the bad side is you have a higher chance of failing. But the good side is if you get the right things and you apply the right things to your life and you stand on those things over long periods of time, you will see success and hopefully you'll become a millionaire. Listen, everything that I teach as a coach, as a consultant, as an educator is tied to you at minimum becoming a millionaire. That's the minimum I want you to become because I've done the math and I'm around some millionaires and multimillionaires and I've even met some billionaires in the circles that I'm in who understand that being a millionaire is awesome, but it should just be the basis for the success that you want to create in life, okay? So again, today's show is about what entrepreneurs need to succeed. I'm going to share with you 3 things I believe entrepreneurs need to succeed. And I'll break each of these 3 things down and you can tell me what you think about it. If you have a question, put the question in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer the question. If you're on Instagram, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you're at, or X, whatever they call it. If you have a comment or if you have a question, just drop it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer the question. So what are the 3 things entrepreneurs need to succeed? At least the 3 things I want to talk about today. Number 1, discipline. Discipline. I'm going to break each of these down now. So if you're taking notes, I want you to write them down. Number 2, demand. And number 3, development. And each of these represent a series of things that you're going to have to gather and a series of things that you're going to have to start using. So if you're an entrepreneur in today's marketplace, I want you to understand that whatever it is that you've done in the past, it ain't going to work in the present because you've got too many things going on, too many moving parts in the marketplace. Things like inflation, things like interest rate hikes, things like money and currencies collapsing, things like like issues with supply and demand, things like international issues that are affecting the economy. You got so many things going on in the marketplace today in August of 2023 that if you're an entrepreneur, you already probably feeling the pressure. You're already probably feeling the pain. You're seeing it in your finances. You're seeing it in your revenue. You're seeing it in how people are not doing as much business with you today, maybe like they were even 8 months ago. Things are changing. And then you got things like AI, artificial intelligence. You got the technological platforms that are systematizing things that you would regularly do. You got the outsourcing of other services to other countries that, can do things for pennies on the dollar. All of this affects your top line, your middle line, and your bottom line as an entrepreneur. So you can stick your head in the dirt like an ostrich and act like this stuff ain't going on. But all you got to do is just open up your bank account and look and see what's really happening in the marketplace if you are an entrepreneur. Because as I said, most entrepreneurs don't make money. Most business owners ain't even making a profit. And And not only are they not profiting and making money, but a lot of entrepreneurs are taking money from their jobs to finance their businesses, but they're not getting any momentum. We got to change that narrative. So if you're an entrepreneur thinking about what you can do today to not just survive, but to succeed, I'm telling you, these are 3 things that you need to succeed. Number 1, you need discipline. So when I say discipline, what am I referring to? Well, discipline is really about you developing the right habits. Discipline requires something very important. It requires regularity and consistency. So when you think about needing discipline as an entrepreneur, what you need to wrap your mind around is, oh, I need regularity. That means I got to show up in the marketplace every day. I got to figure out new creative ways to do business with people. I have to make the necessary adjustments, and I can't be married to a way of doing business today just because it worked yesterday. A lot of entrepreneurs, they are not lazy, because I talk to entrepreneurs every day. So a lot of entrepreneurs are not lazy. They're just undisciplined because they can't get consistent and create a schedule of regularity, because they're jumping all over the place trying to find the thing that can actually work. When they don't understand, it's not all about the thing that's working as much as it's about you working. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you as a person have to become disciplined. And this requires regularity. It requires regularity. It requires consistency. Me and my son, who is one of our team members, he's my social media manager, content creator. He does an extraordinary job. Me and him was just conversing this morning, and we were just talking about how there are a lot of people that's out there on the social media platforms and in the social media space doing what I do, doing what we do in terms of business and entrepreneurial and financial education and training and having online courses and coaching people and consulting. There are a lot of people who do it, but there are a lot of people who do it that are not regular and consistent over long periods of time. You get what I'm saying? And so even though I might not have the following like a lot of my colleagues or even competitors have, even though I might not always get the attention like my colleagues and maybe my competitors get, but I'm going to create a level of regularity like I have to show up every day. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep fighting the good fight. I'm going to continue to be consistent, not just in my business, but I'm going to create regularity and consistency with my life. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what that means is, if you just look back at the history of Ramonepreston, you're not going to see a whole lot of inconsistency and a whole lot of irregularity. You're not going to see it in my life. You're not going to see it in my relationships. You're not going to see it, of course, in my marriage, in my family. You're not going to see it in my business. You know why? Because I have to continue to build the muscle and do the reps to become a disciplined individual. I have to be a disciplined husband. I have to be a disciplined father, grandfather too. I have to be a disciplined minister and preacher and leader in my tribe, in my church, in my community. I have to be a disciplined community servant. I've got to be a disciplined example. I've got to be a disciplined steward over whatever God has given to me in terms of gifts and opportunities and relationships. And then all those regular disciplines that I work on every day, they start converting over into how I manage my money, how I look at relationships in business, how I build my business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're an entrepreneur and there's a need for you to succeed because you don't want to fail, and you don't want to become a victim of today's marketplace, listen to what I'm telling you. I'm making this like a war cry. You got to get disciplined. And now, if you tell me you disciplined, there are certain things that I should be able to see outside of your relationships, behind closed doors, outside of your health, or things that are personal that we might not always see the details on. But I should be able to look at what you're doing as an entrepreneur and see some level of discipline. You get what I'm saying? I should see some regularity. I should see some consistency. And most of the times, your regularity and your consistency is going to show up in your marketing. It's going to show up in how you sell. It's going to show up in what you're offering people. It's going to show up in what you're doing regarding the space or the industry that you're in. It doesn't matter what market you're in, what space or industry you're in. It really don't matter what type of business you got. You still got to have regularity and consistency, even if nothing ain't happening. What you can't do is just keep jumping around or just keep staying stuck doing the same thing without getting results. That's not regularity. That's insanity. Do you understand the difference? I say, do you understand the difference? There's a difference between showing up every day, building a muscle, making progress, pivoting, growing, changing, expanding. There's a difference between that and just doing the same thing every day and not getting results. There's a difference between regularity and insanity. What a lot of people are doing today in the marketplace is insanity, because you're still trying to run your business the way you ran it 5 years ago. Do you understand that we're in a post-pandemic world? So even without the pandemic, like, you can't do the same thing today that you did yesterday. But now that we have experienced this pandemic, now that the markets and the economies are changing, you cannot afford to do business today like you were doing January 1st of this year. You should be doing business different. If you listen to me and watch me enough, you'll see that I'm always pivoting. But I'm not pivoting into other things outside of the things that I've created regularity and consistency with. Like, for example, I'm a business and financial consultant, coach, educator, and real estate, because my wife and I, that's our bread and butter, right? So that's the world we're in. We can simplify it by saying business consulting, education. We have an educational company, coaching, right? So it's all like meshed together, the same thing. So when I pivot, I'm not pivoting out of this and going into insurance or going into landscaping or going into shoe shining, unless there's an opportunity there that kind of works with. But if I haven't figured out how to get a level of regular success, consistent success here, what in the world do I look like going way over here trying to create something just because this ain't working? No, it's not working because I'm not working. I'm not a regular person. I'm not consistent. I'm not learning enough and growing enough and expanding enough as a person to make a change in this particular area. So the first thing you need to succeed as an entrepreneur, I would say, is discipline. As a matter of fact, all you got to do is Google. And what you're going to find out if you Google like habits of millionaires, characteristics of millionaires, what millionaires do to succeed, here's what you're going to find out. The average millionaire says that discipline is one of the key reasons why they're successful. Point blank, period. I'm talking about like the average millionaire will tell you that the reason why they're successful is because of discipline. It ain't because they got the best product. It ain't because they provide the best service. It ain't because they're the most known, they're the biggest name, they market more, they sell and close harder. The average millionaire will tell you they're just disciplined. They're willing to show up every day and just work on the things that they know are going to make them better people. So I teach these principles to my students and my clients, right? But I live by these principles, And me and my wife, we do. And we teach that and we require that even with our staff. So like, for example, I always tell my staff this. Okay, they come to the office every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. All right, we have a Monday through Friday schedule. Of course, when we have events, we do things on Saturday, maybe on Sunday if we have to. But for the most part, we Monday through Friday. The offices, we got office hours, we got people that are here doing real business, right? Well, guess what? Every day they show up, they have a responsibility and a requirement. It's not just a responsibility. They are required when they come into this office to sit down, to study, to train. We have training material for them to train on, for them to get educated on. They go through their role playing. They're prepping themselves up. They're doing the reps to be successful every day. And if you ask them, are you a better person today than you were when you first started working for Ramonepreston Enterprises? Most likely they're going to say yes. Well, what are some things that have made you better? They're probably going to tell you, oh, I've learned so much. I study. I'm a better person. I know how to deal with business things. All these things because they're learning it. It's called discipline, regularity, and consistency. And here's the good thing. Even when I'm not always here, when they get here to start training and role playing, which that's what I worked hard to do, to create a culture and an opportunity for people to be here to learn, but they still see me learning and growing and developing and doing all the things that I'm requiring them to do. So as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solopreneur, you're trying to do it all yourself, discipline is the first thing you need. That means you gotta make regularity and consistency a requirement. Number two, demand. Demand. Why do you need demand? Well, this goes to what you selling. Like, I can't even tell you how many entrepreneurs I talk to. And I hope I'm not talking to one right now. But I can't tell you how many, I can't even begin to tell you how many entrepreneurs I talk to, and they tell me they focusing on everything else except making a sale. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many ideas you got. It doesn't matter how much you working on your credit score, your FICO. All that stuff means nothing if you ain't participating in sales and marketing. So there needs to be a demand. See, you need a demand. What do you mean a demand? There needs to be a demand for the product and service that you have. So now, if you have a problem selling and marketing a product, maybe it's because you don't value the product or service that you have. Maybe you don't believe in it. Maybe you're not sure if it's even valuable enough. But if you don't have a demand, like, you ain't really got no business. You just don't have a business. Now, people are not going to create this demand for you as much as you going to create this demand for you. All right? So as I said, I'm a business consultant. I provide consulting services for entrepreneurs, real estate people. Me and my wife, we work with people in real estate. She's a real estate agent. We could sell or buy a home for you. We have a real estate investment company. I'm just showing you all the products and services we have. We have a coaching program. We have an online university with courses that we provide, all this stuff, right? But none of that means nothing if it's not a demand for us. First of all, you won't know what I have if I'm not telling you what I have. So I'm not finna sit back and just be praying, Lord, please send somebody. Lord, please. I'm not saying that you can't pray and somebody can't come. But what I'm saying is you've got to get disciplined to not depend on a miracle to happen every day in your life and in your business, because you are operating methods. That means, yes, I want a miracle if God is going to give me a miracle. I appreciate and acknowledge the miracles, but God also gives me the ability to develop methods and work those methods so that I'm not waking up every day like a junkie. Man, let me get a miracle, man. Man, I need a miracle. Well, guess what? At some point, God's like, bruh, sis, when you gonna implement a method? Why you keep needing miracles when you need to use methods? You get what I'm saying? So at some point, there needs to be a demand for your product or your service. If you don't know what the demand is, you need to become aware of what the demand is. What are the products that you have? What are the services that you have? And you need to create a demand for them. And the easiest way to create a demand for them is to market them. Take them to the marketplace. Start getting attention. Start, waving your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care. Do whatever you got to do to get some attention. Because if you get enough attention, at some point you will make a conversion. Do you hear me? If you get enough attention, at some point you will make a conversion. And the moment you start making conversions, meaning that you got attention because you market, you made a conversion in your sales, it's going to continue to increase the demand, not just for the current products and services that you have, but it's going to continue to create a demand for you to create new offers to get in front of new people, to get more attention, to make more conversions, and you rinse and repeat the regularity and the consistency of that process every day. Am I making sense to you? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? All right, if you do, number 3, this is the final thing you need to succeed as an entrepreneur. You need development. And I'm not talking about personal development. Well, I should be, because it involves personal development. All right, but I'm not just talking about personal development. All right, so you need discipline. So a lot of your discipline is personal, which turns into financial and professional. All right, your demand is your products and your services, but the development part, of course, some of the development is personal, but I don't want you to get so focused on personal development that you never focus on business development. So there are two sides to this development. The personal development side is, okay, maybe you do need a coach. Maybe you do need to be in a community of accountability. Maybe you do need to be around people who challenge you to become a better version of you. Because let me tell you something. If you think you're going to make it to the top of anything by yourself, that's why you where you at. I'm going to be the one to tell you. If you think you are God's gift to the earth to the point that I don't need nobody, can't nobody tell me I'm going to do it the way I do, blah, 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 you definitely ain't going to make it to the top. And if you think you at the top, you're delusional, because you're really at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to development, the personal side of development is you have to acknowledge that you need people. You need people. And if mama told you you don't need people, if daddy told you you don't need nobody, if you in. All right, we back, y'all. I'm sitting in here going in, just running my mouth, and my whole mic went out. And I promise you, I changed that mic. I thought I changed that mic out like the other day. I could have sworn I changed it out. And for some reason, it did not, for some reason, it must have went out. Or maybe I left it on when I left the studio yesterday. That's probably what happened. Okay, hopefully y'all can hear me. I don't know where I fell off at with the sound, but let me just make sure y'all heard enough to know that I want to make sure. Okay, yep, sound is back on, so y'all should be good. Y'all should hear me now. I do that all the time. Like, I do it probably at least once a week. At least once a week, I'm sitting here running my mouth and my mic go out. That's why I checked my mic, because I heard them downstairs yelling. So I'm like, okay, maybe one of my microphones went out. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the third thing you need to succeed, development. So the personal development side is you need to be accountable. You got to get around people to challenge you. You got to get around people to push you. Like, I have a coach, all right? I'm a part of a mentorship program for me and for my staff. So I give them access to the information, to the training that me and my wife get. And me, my wife, and my team, we all share in these resources. So a lot of times I'm traveling to these meetings and to these conferences and to all these different events because I want to be in the room. And I'll go to the same events over and over again throughout the course of a year because I want to meet new people, but I want to rub shoulders with people who challenge me to grow and who don't accept average and ordinary and mediocrity. I was just telling my wife this the other day because it's been February, March, April. I think it's been like 4 months. It's been about 4 months since I went to an event, or maybe 3 months. It's been a couple months since I went to one of my events, right? And I've had to push a couple off because I got so many that I'm supposed to be going to. I normally go like every 8 weeks to one. But anyway, I didn't make my last one. I pushed it off for another date. And I was just telling my wife the other day, I'm like, oh my God, I just got to get back to Miami. I got to sit in the room. I need like 2-3 days because I just need to get my mind around people who challenge me, because what happens is when you out here grinding every day, building your business, doing your entrepreneurial thing, it drags you down. And your team is going to only give you so much. You gotta get around people who can pull you out of that and who can remind you where you're going and keep you moving forward. So the self-development is important. If you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, even if it's not a community like mine or a program like mine or products and services like mine, I want you to understand you should be learning things every day. And you got to get to a point to where you're not just coming on social media and YouTube and Googling everything. At some point, you have to invest in some consolidated program that can actually give you what you need. Do you understand what I'm saying? At some point, you have to, you're going to have to invest in that at some point. You're going to have to. If you never invest in that, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. You're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. At some point, you have to invest in your own. Now, when it comes to the business development side, you have to work on developing your structure, your systems, and your processes. This is where your education comes in at. One of the most important reasons for educating yourself in business and finances and entrepreneurship is so that you can have a solid structure, solid systems, and solid processes. Systems and processes in a business structure are like one of the top 2 or 3 reasons why most businesses fail. because they don't have any systems. They don't have any processes. So these are the three things I would say you need to succeed as an entrepreneur. You need discipline, regularity, and consistency. You need a demand for your products and services, and you got to be willing to market them, get attention, and sell them, and get consistent with that and regular with that. But you also need development. You need personal development. You need to be around people who can support you, who can encourage you, but who can also hold you accountable, who could challenge you to grow as a person and give you the incentive to keep pushing and pressing even when you want to give up. Because entrepreneurship is very, very hard, especially if you're doing it full time. But you also want to develop your structure. You want to make sure that you have the right information. You want to make sure that you're learning the right concepts and principles to build your business. See, it took me a while to figure out that I wasn't a business owner. I was just an entrepreneur, just hustling, scrapping every day. And once I realized that in order for me to become a business owner, I need systems, I need processes, I need a staff, I need a structure, I need a real company. And it's a lot of moving parts to have that. And every day I wake up, I'm still working on developing that. But at least I know it, and at least I have the information to do it, and at least I'm able to grow and see the results because I'm working on it every day. So as I mentioned earlier, if you are an entrepreneur and you don't have this type of information in a consolidated place, rather than just trying to Google and YouTube your way to success, if you need a consolidated source of information, training, accountability, if you need somebody to mentor you through your phone or through your tablet or your computer, I have just opened up a special offer just this week, and I've announced it like to everybody on my show the last couple days. Of course, everybody that's on my email list and in my community knows, but on Saturday, September the 2nd, it's Labor Day weekend, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'm hosting a live virtual business boot camp, all right, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a live virtual business boot camp. So I'm going to take about 6 hours, and I'm going to be doing a deep dive on 4 major pillars that contribute to the success of your business. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on holding companies. I'm going to do a deep dive on asset management, on creative tax strategies, and on organizational or operational systems. Like, I want you to understand, if you just learn these 4 business concepts and work them into whatever you're doing every day as an entrepreneur, you're going to see results. You're going to see success. You're listening to someone who built a 7-figure organizational enterprise with no resources, with no working capital, no credit. I didn't have somebody financing me on the side. I didn't have a rich uncle pushing a little money to me, giving me the ability to get off the ground. No, me and my wife, we scrapped it out. But as we started grinding as entrepreneurs, I started building my infrastructure. So once I got my holding company established, and once I started understanding the concept of asset management and started accumulating assets, and I implemented strategies for my taxes to lower my taxes, maximize my profits, and I created an operational system to make what I did more efficient for my sales, for my marketing, for my finances, for my administration. It all started coming together, and it all started working. It all started becoming more effective and more efficient. So on Saturday, September the 2nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., I'm hosting this 1-day business boot camp. It's all virtual, so you don't have to come in person. You can watch it. You can join in. It's a private portal that we're going to make available through a link on our university platform. And I'm going to deep dive. I'm going to be talking about how to start and structure holding companies, how to file and form your paperwork, how to draft operating agreements, what language do you need to use. I'm going to be showing you the difference between having a division under your holding company or having a subsidiary, or both, or when do you know a division needs to be a subsidiary. How do you put the language inside of your operating agreement when it's a holding company? When you're obtaining your EIN number, what do you put on there when it's a holding company? How do you put that in the Secretary of State articles? We're going to talk about all of that, okay? I'm also going to talk about asset management. I'm going to show you as a business owner how you need to also be an asset manager, especially when you have a concept or a structure like the holding company. Because you got a holding company, you got operating companies, those are assets, but you have other assets, whether it's intellectual property, whether it's real estate, whether it's retirement accounts, whether it's insurance policies, whether it's lines of credit, or whether it's a combination of all of those things. How do you accumulate those, integrate them into your business so that you can start increasing your net worth, increasing your enterprise value, your market value? This is what you need to leverage, especially in today's marketplace. We're going to go over some creative tax strategies to show you how do you minimize your tax liability, maximize your deductions. I always tell people when it comes to creative tax strategies, you need a tax strategist, you need a CPA, you need those kind of people working with you. But you also need to know as an entrepreneur how to track your own income and expenses, how to forecast into the future, how to monitor cash collected, and how to make certain business moves that lower your taxes and maximize your profits. You got to know that stuff. You got to get good at that stuff if you're going to build a successful business. And then we're going to talk about organizational or operational systems. How do you build a operational system that tracks all the data and the metrics and the activities for your sales, your marketing, your financials, your administration activities? All these need to be consolidated. They need to make sense to you so that when you wake up every day, you can see what results or impact are you making with your administrative duties, with your sales, with your marketing, with your financial activities. And if you can make that more easy and efficient, it's going to make your life easier. Because if you're a solopreneur, you're wearing multiple hats. So again, this is a one-day business boot camp. It's a virtual event. I'm offering it to you for $97, but here's the biggest kicker. I'm giving you a VIP ticket to the boot camp for $97, but I'm also giving you 1 year unlimited access to 4 training programs that I have on these 4 topics. So if you reach out to me and text boot camp to this number and pay the $97, here's what I want you to understand. You're going to get instant access to 4 training courses that you're going to have unlimited access to for an entire year. And inside of that business boot camp bundle that we give you access to, there's going to be a module for our upcoming boot camp that you'll be able to log in and join us on. But then there's going to be 4 other programs inside of there. One for starting and structuring holding companies. This course has so many modules and training information on holding companies. Everything you could think about is in that course. And we have a startup kit, which includes the documents, the forms, operating agreements, asset transfer agreements, all the paperwork as well. We're giving you 1 year unlimited access to our asset management course so that you can start identifying with assets. Learn how to become an asset manager. We're giving you access to our creative tax strategy course so you can learn, at least from an entrepreneur's perspective, how to utilize these strategic financial principles to really increase your profits, minimize your taxes. And then we're going to give you access to our corporate systems and processes course. So for $97, I want to make it clear. So when the offer ends and it's no longer available, you can't say you didn't hear me say it. I want to make it clear. For $97, I'm giving you 1 VIP ticket to my 1-day virtual business boot camp, and I'm giving you 1 year unlimited access to 4 training programs inside of Ramonepreston University on holding companies, asset management, creative tax strategies, and operational systems and processes. $97. You gonna spend that for lunch or for dinner today or tomorrow. Just text the word boot camp to 678-276-8253. That's all you have to do. Text the word boot camp. When you text the word boot camp, here's how easy it is. We're going to reach back out to you. We're going to congratulate you if you're ready, ask you if you have any questions, answer any questions, and if you're ready, we can either process the $97 payment over the phone, or we can send you a secure QuickBooks invoice that you pay on your end. And once the invoice comes back, you get instantly onboarded to our business bootcamp bundle. That's how it's going to show up on your dashboard, a business bootcamp bundle. You're going to get a link to log in to Ramonepreston University. Inside of your dashboard, you're going to see a business bootcamp bundle. There's going to be 5 different programs inside of that bootcamp bundle. One is going to be for the upcoming bootcamp itself. The other 4 is going to be these 4 programs that I'm telling you that you have 1 year access to. So that's going to be for you for $97. It will change the landscape of your life and what you're doing as an entrepreneur. Text bootcamp to 678-276-8253. All right, I hope y'all got some value from today's show. Please leave a comment. Please leave a takeaway. Let us know what you heard, what you learned that brought value to you. And we appreciate you for joining the Ramonepreston Show today. Of course, we'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon, right here, my friends, on the Ramonepreston.